myself it doesn't hurt. It's too much to fix with your touch. Won't even convince me with love. I just can't win or lose with you. So tell me, what do I do? I'm always locked up in my head, trying my best to forget what you said. You should have known. Try to forget what you said. So lost, the line has been crossed for the last time, and I'm not in my phone. Help you find your way back. Stars on track, you and you fade into black. Our time is jaded and I can't change it. If you wanna take it back, you can. But just remember that I know you're right. Stifle my words so you'll be it. Tell myself it doesn't hurt. It's too much to fix with your touch. Won't even convince me with love. I just can't win or lose.
Okie dokie, let's turn down the tunes because I don't want to blow out your eardrums. All right, that should be good. Welcome in, everybody. It's another edition of Streaming here on Wednesday about our favorite game, Star Trek Fleet Command. And just want to take a moment to just say, hey, thank y'all for being here. I mean, the fact that so many of us love this game, enjoy this game, want to learn more about this game, that middle of a Wednesday, 1 week before Christmas, we're hanging out with each other. And that's just kind of cool. Like when you take a moment to think about it, man, this game is a big part of our life. We can gripe about that sometimes. Sure, absolutely. But pretty neat that we've made all these relationships and gotten to meet each other and talk to each other. Anyway, that's just cool. All right, so enough rambling, but I just thought that was neat and wanted to really open up. And I appreciate seeing y'all. And y'all are all awesome. And good afternoon. And hey, welcome in. So we're going to talk today about a couple of different topics. Number one, I do want to hit on the event store currency. Obviously, that's a big one for everybody out there. We do have the latest numbers, as well as talking to the overlords about more currency coming, as well as things getting added to the store. Before anybody asks, and I'm sure it'll get asked many times, no, I do not have a list of things that I can give you about things getting added to the store. However, that is still something that I reached out to Hamster about a couple days ago. He did confirm that was still the plan, to add stuff before the end of the event store. And as far as how long the event store is going to last, well, obviously next week is Christmas. And for those that aren't familiar or don't remember how things have typically gone when it comes to holiday events and Christmases, etc., it's like if you jump in here, you can see this supposedly stops on Christmas. Do not be surprised. Do not take this as me saying definite, because again, dealing with Scopely here. However, expect the event store to be stretched past Christmas and go into towards the new year. So don't expect, again, not saying for a fact, this is just what I'm expecting. Don't expect the 7 days to stay here. I would expect an extension on the store past Christmas, and then we'll see different things getting hopefully added in, especially in terms of event store currency. The good news is we have seen an increase of event store currency week 2 compared to week 1, with more happening in the future. However, it is still not where we quote unquote want it to be, which I think is always a fair critique, and we can continue to bring that up. For those curious, what you're seeing in my background, well, this is our server 710 account. So for all those curious, well, Rev, why do I see this? Well, that's why you see it. Also, another event that I can't do on level 25. So we're going to talk about all those different things and more, but of course, got to get y'all's comments. Just appreciate y'all being here. Robert says, are you doing an event store video today? Not today. So normally I do have an event store video out, and I will be making one. However, I have not made one yet because I'm waiting on the finality of the event store. So that can kind of like maybe lean you into the direction of, hoarding, saving, whatever word you want to use for keeping up on all of your gifts and your currencies. I am waiting for the final version of said store. It is not here yet. So we'll see what that ends up looking like. The currency is also a big thing that we've been waiting on, seeing what the final currency amounts are going to look like. And so far, we'll open that up the form in a second. I do want to let everybody kind of get in here, but it has improved. Now, please don't take me acknowledging a positive as trying to tell y'all that things are perfect and honky-dory. They still are not to the point and to the degree that many of you and myself want them to be. So we will continue to push for them to get better. But I do want to acknowledge and let y'all know that as we thought and hoped, it is increasing, but it's very painful in the beginning. We'll see what that looks like. Obviously, this is all reliant on the events themselves in terms of how completable are they, what are the events, etc. I also want to mention a couple different things because, again, talked to Hamster this morning about some things, and there was a couple of announcements put out. So you do have a Mirror Universe Heroic SMS and SLB that was scheduled for last week that got moved to December 22nd next week. There are additional events getting added in for more holiday currency next week. Was also talking to Hamster this morning. If you remember the Borg Probe, who remembers the Borg Probe event that was just really, really difficult to complete, if not incompletable, depending on situations on your server? I brought that one up. And they said that he thinks, in not a direct quote, but thinks that is also going to have a makeup event as well for those of you who are missing out on or worried about missing out on the Qsmas event, which obviously has a ton of currency. So if you did complete that, let's say you had 30 tokens saved up and you grinded your butt off all day, well, cool. You're going to probably end up with more event store currency than the people who didn't complete it. However, I did bring up the need to run that in terms of what I mean, the need for them to run a makeup event and allow people to catch up with that. And that seems to be on their radar. So that's good. These are all good things. Yes, we can definitely say, hey, these should never happen, yada, yada. I'm not going to disagree with you. Definitely not going to argue with y'all. But good news is additional events being added in, makeup events being added in, and you're going to see a lot of that next week, not necessarily on Christmas Day. I really hope the game does not expect everybody to log in on Christmas Day and just spend all day here. But I think those are still good points that we are seeing those increase so that we can hopefully, as a community, get more currency. And let's see how many people we have here so far. Okay, I think we have enough people where we can bring up the actual numbers. So let's talk about where things are at so far. I was talking to Jules about this today. I talked to DJ about it yesterday. We've been doing math, trying to make this work in terms of trying to get everything that we need. So the current numbers for free to play, 250,000. That's the current numbers of between what we know and what we've had so far. Pure free to play is 250. That is still low compared to last event store. However, it should be noted that it is increasing week to week, and I'm expecting next week to be better. So it's been a painful journey, but it would appear we're moving in the direction. Let's talk about the events themselves. You've already seen me gripe about some of the events that were changed. For example, the Mission Key Hunter SMS up here only paying 4,500. See that at the very top? Well, believe it or not, that has at one point this year paid 30,000. Well, this time it was significantly reduced. However, we did have other things change, like actually getting them back in our battle pass, etc. We've covered this. I don't want to get too much into it. So let's scroll through. There are several things here. I do want to really make sure we understand how this works. The 250 at the top does not mean you should have 250,000 right now. Again, this is where we're at so far with all known events that have either happened or are happening. So for example, the 12 days of Qsmas, however that is supposed to be pronounced, is 48,000. That is a massive chunk. Well, that includes the need for the makeup Borg Probe event that I just said. So this is where we're at so far with more unannounced events going to be rolled in. And we also know that there is a holiday marathon that is going to be running, and we're going to be tracking all those. And see the heroic one, 90,000. We're not counting that towards free to play. That is paid loot. Shout out to Jules Verne who keeps us up Again, shout out to DJ who was in here fooling with things. And then I pretty sure because of vacation for some of our other content creators, I'll be the one doing all the solo updates next week unless I can recruit one of our other nerds like Quazel or somebody else. So main points we want to get to is we are seeing an increase in the number of events, which is one of my biggest gripes, that we needed more events. So we are seeing an uptick in the number of events, even though the prices or the payouts are basically the same that they've always been, 6,000. So we're seeing that increase to lead to more. And of course, when we talk about free-to-play loot, we do not include RLBs, SLBs, ALBs. Now, those are all things that you can earn, but they're all dependent on things that, well, doesn't apply to everybody. Right. So that's where we're at so far. None of this is meant to say all the events are easy, blah, blah, blah. We all understand that this has been, event-wise, a very up and down month. There have been a lot of good things this month. There have been a lot of not good things this month. So it's a mixture. Cool. We're all hopefully on the same page with that. Now, let me jump into comments and see where we're at. And because I don't want to miss anything. If y'all have questions about the events, if you have questions about things going on now, if you have critiques, now's the time to throw them in. And good to see you, Eric. Shout out to server 709. I really don't want to have to drag Moreau out of here, but I really need Latinum. So what do? Drag Moreau out because I really need Latinum. Okay, health. 1 second. We're going to find this one right here. Start this, and we're just going to speed this one up. Any advice on FKR grinding at the 40s? You suggest trying to grind using mirror space versus dual grinding. Bob, I think that's certainly an option. I would say if you're in the early 40s, probably not worth trying mirror just yet. I'd wait a little bit. However, if you're in the upper 40s, mirror is completely viable. Hank, welcome in. Good to see you. And Seth, thank you so much for saying or hoping that me and my family are doing well. The kids are excited for Christmas. I'm excited to be hanging out with y'all and very, very much appreciative. We've had several of y'all send gifts to the kids for Christmas, and I think that is absolutely wonderful of y'all, and it is incredibly appreciative. So thank y'all. I just want to say that it's the holiday season, so it's very easy to be very thankful. But yeah, big thankful for that. Anyway, let's talk about today's events real quick. If y'all are interested in getting something from the Amazon wishlist for the kids or my wife, that is in the chat. Never required. Greatly appreciated. Let me jump into our events, and what I'll do is I'll show you both my level 25 account and level 53 account. You can see what events are looking like right now. So you'll see I'm starting off with, of course, my away team's BP, and we'll go step by step. And there's some things that I'm just not going to bother with, like the Holiday Heroic, even though it has great event store currency in it. Obviously, this is not something I can fool with my low-level account. Now, my high-level account, I'll be honest, the Heroic Marathon is extremely tempting, not necessarily to finish, but so that I can try to go after Gwen DeMarco. But that is for PvP reasons. If you're into PvP arenas, I did want to note this event because DeMarco is a fantastic below-deck PvP officer, but she's also a great upper-deck officer for Armada. So super good to point that out. Hopefully everybody is doing their Saris Invasion. Just a note on this, I feel like I'm doing a ton of updates for y'all, which I guess is fine. But I did bring up to the overlords about consistency with this event and ask them to return to a consistent 2 times a month format, which is what this originally started with. And I did bring that up. So I'm just trying to make sure that y'all are aware that things that y'all come to me with, I am trying to make sure that if they're what the greater needs are of the community, I'm bringing them up. So Batu Cray events, yes, I know y'all can't spend all your currency, yada, yada, but I am trying to get this to run twice a month. So that is another point I have brought up. Whew, I'm talking too much. Hank, thank you so much for being a member of this channel. Appreciate you. And Q sent me, long time no see. Merry Christmas to you as well. Kal-El says, I've been saving my rare ticket events for event store month, so was disappointed to see just Galactic Recruit tokens and mats as rewards. So we've seen that change in 2 different ways this year. Originally, uncommon tickets paid out event store currency. Then they switched that back to mats. And then they had rare tickets to event store currency. And now that is back to mats and Galactic Recruit. I do not know if that is a permanent change. I simply know that's how it is right now. We'll see what that looks like later on. Again, not trying to say that's a positive, not trying to even say it's necessarily a negative. Believe it or not, the reason that event tickets have changed so much is because of player feedback. Now, I'm not trying to make y'all all believe that everybody's in universal agreement that tickets should have mats versus event store currency. We have actually asked y'all this question in surveys, and it was pretty split. It was like a 60-40 split. I'm just simply telling you, there are definitely players who want to get mats during the event store months, and that's one of the reasons that that is happening. Not telling y'all to agree with it, not even telling y'all that it has to be permanent. Just simply remember, there's a lot of people with feedback that might counter your own if you're on the side of, hey, I want event store currency, where is it? Letting you know why that particular route might not be there. Also, if you haven't, quick reminder, go do your mission keys. I'm doing it right now because I just looked at it and saw the event. So if you haven't, go do your mission key redeem. I'm going to do it real quick. This is your daily reminder. Paul, thank you so much for deciding to support the channel. I greatly appreciate that. Very kind. All right, Jonah says that event is impossible to complete as a level 32 player. Jonah, I don't know what event you're referring to. Are you referring to the Spin Mat Heroic event? Because remember, if the word heroic is in it, it is a spenders event. You are expected to spend money to make this happen. I could probably get the first milestone down here at level 25, but very unlikely. You have to be, for any type of mat spend event in this game, you have to be an extreme hoarder and really efficient with how you do your upgrades and stuff if you want to compete in mat spend events, particularly mat spend heroic events. And again, this isn't to make you agree or disagree or like or dislike, just simply letting you know the format of why things are and how things work, because not everybody is aware of that. So throwing in more, let's grab more. He says, I've said it already, but absolutely love the new way of paying out BP materials, that being the choice rewards. Please tell the overlords that changing it would mean they have no honor. I will. One thing I can say that is pretty universal for most of y'all, is y'all love the choice reward system. Now, believe it or not, that's not everybody. I've absolutely had people who don't like the choice reward system, but there's been a lot of positive feedback, more positive than negative. So I'm glad you're enjoying it, Heath. Anything that gets y'all to enjoy the game, I'm happy that y'all enjoy things. So it's good, I guess. All right, back into the events and event store currency, because I just earned a little sliver of it. Now, for anybody judges this account, no, I'm not saving currency on this account. I'm spending currency on this account. Actually, I need to go grind more Fatu Cray because this is so nice at level 25. But I'm not saving currency because I've been getting ship blueprints. I've gotten my Vidar, which I'm very excited about, and then I'm going to be working on my Meridian. So I'm spending it as quickly as I can get it. So if y'all are out there wondering why Rev is not listening to his own advice, that's why I'm not listening to my own advice on this particular account. All right, let's see. Other comments, questions, etc., especially with the events. I do want to answer anything that I can and make y'all aware of things that the overlords have said. Like, again, reminding y'all that the Mirror Universe Heroic SMS and SLB that was supposed to happen last week, which was, I think, or supposed to happen actually 3 days ago, something like that, has been rescheduled to December 22nd at Event Reset. So that's putting it at next Monday? No, next Sunday. This upcoming Sunday. That is there. So be on the lookout for that if you were looking for it. That'll be Sunday. All right, let's see what other questions I missed. Turtle, good to see you. One I don't like is the SMS events under daily. Feels more like heroic events as it's one spin every type, SMS, SLB every day. The thing that I'll tell you about that, Turtle, and I've been repeating this a lot, just because the event says daily, you are not expected to do it every day. Now, I've said this a lot about the new daily upgrades. That does not mean that I don't think a lot of the daily SMSs don't need adjustment. I do think they do. Also, yay Latinum. I absolutely do agree with you that a lot of the SMSs need adjustment. However, I really need to stress that just because an event is there and says daily, you are not expected to do it daily. They do not legitimately think everybody's going to spend all the stuff every single day. But making you aware of that is not the design or the plan. So the reason I bring that up is to critique it that way is feedback that just kind of goes like in the ear, out the other, right? The critique is more how completable is it, and are the rewards good enough? I mean, for example, low levels especially have talked about the need for, well, where's my Latinum? Where are my ultra recruits? I think that is a better direction for the feedback than saying, hey, this is too expensive to complete, because, well, numbers wise, people weren't doing the daily SMSs anyway. And for anybody that's about to scream at the top of their lungs, hey, Rev, I was doing them. Remember, if you're the type of player who comes to this stream, you're probably a diehard player. You're probably a really good player. You're probably such a good player that you do those type of events. But the completion rates on them were silly in terms of like extraordinarily low. So doing stuff like this, you're not expected to do these every day. And when it comes to the meta, remember, there is a overreaching officer sourcing meta now that once you get one full officer a month right now at a 28-day cycle, you need to complete 68% of the events. 68%. If you want to choose to go after that, there's your number. Personally, I don't. I'm not going to do that. And I hope my low completion rate shows Scopely that I don't like the events and that they need adjustment. So if you do the events anyway, well, then you're just giving Scopely what they want. All right. Let's, does that percentage include the SLBs? It does not. No. To get the meta for the monthly officer, it is the weekly and daily SMSs, not SLBs. So, yeah. Got my Monavine recently, loving it. Also, my Warp Range missions at OS 42. Congrats, Time Lord. That's awesome. I'm glad you're excited. So, glad you're excited. Do you have a list anywhere which shows where you can source ship skins or projectiles? We do have a couple of places, like on my Discord, but it depends on what you're specifically looking for. I could probably just tell you. It depends on what you're trying to find. That might be easier than you trying to hunt it down, but hey, I'm good for whatever. Let me throw this back on real quick, and then I've got to go do some Fatu Cray together. Y'all excited about that? Yes, my low-level account does Fatu Cray, and thanks to transporter patterns, I now have Pipe and Road Chin, and my life is better. It just, my actual life, my real life is better now. So it's nice. All right. Everyone should get a Monavine? Absolutely. Yeah. Basically, every specialty ship, with the exception of 2 or 3, are almost must grabs. You know, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying it might hurt you if you don't. The specialty ships are really important to go and nab. Go ahead and head this way. All right, let's see. If you're the kind of player who is doing most or all the dailies previously, you're probably the type of player who could do most of the current ones if you decided to do that instead of auction. That is true. Meme is saying you can make the decision between doing the dailies and doing the officer auctions. And I'm not saying I think that's how things should be, but it depends on how you want to grow your resources. I do. Ultimately, the main thing I want to try to do is get everybody's ultra shards back and get everybody's platinum. That's what I'm trying to do. So, yeah. Your SS Rev is Mark II. Does that make it an SS Rev Deuce? That is a fantastic reference, Hank. Mine's not there yet, but good job. That's awesome. And I'm glad you're enjoying it. All right. Glad you're enjoying it. Let's see one other thing. Don't want to, I'm scrolling through, seeing if we can get these back. Will we ever get back the Officer Heroic event that paid out 4-star uncommon explorer ship parts that helped me greatly upgrade my ships? Yes, there's nothing that says that can't. They've not said that it's off the list. So yeah. All right. Let's see where else we have. I have a lot of questions y'all have posed. I'm scrolling through. I don't want to miss anything. Any side on when the next Alliance tournament will be? There's no date I can give you. They have not released a public date. Let's see. My only curse with the choice rewards, I'm kind of a loot hoarder for the normal materials. I have many trillion of each item. That's impressive, Nolan. Let's see what else we got. If I enter TC in the last few minutes, do I get more points during that period than at the beginning? Yes. So there is a charge time or supercharge. What do they call that? I'm blanking on what the actual name is. But if you actually look at the top right of TC, you'll see it. It actually changes the display. There is a period at the very end, like if you're in a 3-star territory, it's the last 15 minutes, where you're earning more points than during the beginning. Now, you still, like if you're trying to do the TC event for your battle pass, you want to be there the entire time. But specifically for scoring in a TC, there is a period closer to the end that the point scoring is elevated so that you can get more. Overdrive, thank y'all. It's called Overdrive. But yes, in Overdrive, you are scoring more points both when you're on a node and just simply being in the system so that your alliance can win that territory. The last section or the last little bit of that is the biggest point. So there's more questions. John, great to see you. Appreciate you. When's the next officer level up event? I have no idea. No idea. What impulse speed do you have on that ship? None, Mihai. This is just a stock Voclus. Just a good old Voclus. Back in the olden days of ships be slow. That's one of the drawbacks of starting the new game. Don't get me wrong, I love new gameplay. Absolutely do, but this is part of new gameplay. All right, Brigadier says MUSLB is the 23rd, assuming it's the USA time. It'll be Monday on Discord. So Brigadier, here's what I say, or here's my response to you. It is, for me, the 22nd at 11 a.m. It's whenever your daily reset time is, but for me, it's December 22nd, 2024, 11 a.m. is what's listed on the official Discord. Now, with you being in New Zealand, y'all's times might be different, right? Because y'all are technically in the future. But for me, in America, it is Sunday, December 22nd. At least that's when they posted it. Who knows? Timmy, good to see you. Welcome in. So just again, recap for those keeping up. The previously planned heroic SMS and SLB that was scheduled for the 16th, now the 22nd. Right? Yeah. Or we're scheduled for the 15th, now the 22nd. Anyway, whatever. December 22nd, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You have Kirk set up for warp speed. I do have Kirk set up for warp speed meme because as annoying as the impulse speed is, the thing that bugs me the most at low level gameplay is the time it takes to actually get places. I'm going to give you an example. Here's me throwing on a miner on a node in Pajim. It'll take me 4.5 minutes to get there, and that's using Kirk's speed boost having active instead of impulse. So yeah, that's why. Now the impulse, completely legit, but yeah, that's absolutely what I'm doing. I'm using my fleet commander Kirk for his warp speed boost instead of his impulse boost right now. Now later in the game, that will absolutely switch. Obviously at level 53, I use the impulse boost, not the warp speed boost. So yeah, event charts are meaningless until it arrives. The board cube upgrade event never happened. I don't know what you're talking about, Vazuma. All right, I don't know what you're trying to bring up. Is it worthwhile to triple lock factions at 15 billion legend? I'm always a fan of triple locking, no matter which one we're talking. 10 mil, 1 bill, 15 bill, 500 bill. I'm personally of the mind, all factions, all positive, all the time. That's more faction credits, more ships, more things. Not everybody agrees with that. That's completely fine. Some people like to keep one negative so that they can have one always hostile and auto grind in it. I don't find that valuable anymore. That's just me personally. But I'm certainly going to recommend that. So, all right. Just got to the mission, combat training, 61 veteran. Not done one of those for a long time. At Ops 50, what's the best crew for yellow hostiles with a tier 9 Tribune? So, no PMCs, nothing like that. You're looking for generic abilities. I mean, the old school things, even like 5 of 11 and Con, work quite well. Just remember that you cannot use your traditional pipe and road chins. So gold hostile bosses are unique, but the way to fight them has not changed too much over time. There are some differences, but I don't know what officers you have. The mirror systems are huge for rep grinding? Absolutely. And the fact that they've now embraced tri-faction grinding in this game, I think is quite nice. So, also Zen Deep mission. Forgot about that. Always things going on at these levels. All right. I like having one faction negative so that I can do my auto grinding, which is very helpful in many events. Yeah, it's exactly what Q is saying. For me, I auto grind in my Monavine area, which I can do for events. Obviously, that doesn't help me with faction events, but I'm a tri-locker, and that's just my style. But that doesn't mean everybody's going to emulate my style. So, tri-faction win how? Simple. Dual faction lock one group or two, then catch the third one up, and then follow the pattern. Now, once you get into the 40s, you can actually do all three at one time thanks to Mirror Universe hostile grinding, where there are multiple systems that pay out rep for all three in equal amounts. So that is quite popular now since Mirror has come out. We have a lot of people doing that. You'll see systems like Mirror Romy get cited all the time for that type of a grind. Just depends on what you want to do, and if that has value for you. So let me go ahead and select all these buttons for Zen Deep, which for me, those actually are useful. Oh, I also got to do my faction pulls. Oh, so easy to forget. All right, that one. We're going to save on that one because we're not quite there yet. But I do need to get more uncommon plutonium. All right, more questions, more comments. Throw them in. Love having them. Now, triple lock is so useful being able to plan out ship progression using 3 different credits. Yeah, I will tell you this if you all aren't aware. One of the reasons that I'm so big on it is, believe it or not, this is everybody's get to shame rep, but it's actually for the miners when you're going in G5, G6. The fact that you can split your costs for your Novas and your Selkies, which, yes, you're going to want to have. I have them as somebody who's an OPC hunter. Being able to split that makes it so nice and convenient. Not to mention all the other things that you can get through the various boxes, and hopefully the planned faction update does end up coming through here in the near future. It was supposed to come this month, obviously got pulled, and we'll see when that actually comes through. But hopefully that's soonish. I don't know. I'll have to wait. I don't have a date on that one. Whether I could release one or not, I have no idea when that's happening. All right, let's grab more. Like having one faction negative so that I already read that. Why am I rereading it? Do we know if the Vindicator taunt will work on Chimeras? Well, Chimera, you only bring one ship. So what would be the point in taunting it? All right. What would be the point? What's the planned faction update? So Swifty, if you did not see, this month was supposed to have essentially a cleanup system for all the factions in the game at the moment, to make it to where there's less clicks to access all the boxes and pull things. That lasted about literally 12 minutes before it had to be pulled because it wasn't working correctly. So we'll see when that actually gets thrown in. When that actually gets thrown in. All right. Are the G5 faction miners worth the investment? Not really. I mean, you can get them. I don't really see a ton of value in them. The biggest advantage will be warp range, but what a lot of people end up doing is just using the Gorn Eviscerator or even the Disco to just take things out there. That's kind of up to you. I'm not personally big on them. I will get them for collection purposes, but for the most part, I don't think people in today's game need them. I feel like people can get what they need, especially in G5 in other ways. You can make the argument for having some of those for later in the game when it comes to G6, but keep in mind, they're not going to help you with hazard systems anyway, right? And you're going to want to be getting Selkies, and you're going to basically want as many Selkies as you have docks if you are getting into G6 around this time. You know, they're fine, they're not bad, but they're not really giving you a big game bonus, and you're probably not going to carry them and use them very often in the next gen of the game anyway. As Pseudo says, he barely brings out his Magua. So it's just kind of, sure, get them, but I don't really feel like it's going to benefit you that much. Get them because you like the ships. Get them because you like the ships. All right. Let's see what else we have here. I know the video yesterday you said to get French Q for PvP, but I was wondering if getting the gold Cardassian Disruptor beam skin be worth it as well. So, a couple of points we can hit on that. Is it worth it? As in, are you getting a better item? You're not getting a better item. However, I will say that sourcing of those types of things is neat. I am a collection guy. I love having all the available things. And I do want to remind everybody, great opportunity for that, that things like beams and weapon skins are essentially researches, even if they are low value researches, as in they don't do a ton. The Cardassian Disruptor is going to increase your critical hit damage by 25%. That is a research. Once you have it, you don't have to apply it to your ship. It's always active. So that is nice to have. A 25% boost is, it's not more valuable than Apex Barrier or Hull Health Regeneration. However, it is nice to have. And it does, remember, we talk about this all the time on the show. More is more, right? More is more. We like more. So yeah, getting that is fine. Is it better in terms of, will this impact your battle more than having, say, Mariachi Q or French Marshal Q? No, it won't. But if you're talking the long term of the game, do you want this? Yes, because more is more, right? You want to add more to your critical hit damage. You want to add more things to your Apex Barrier or to your shield regen or your hull regen. You want those things. But right now, what would actually make your account more powerful? The officers. Simple as that. There's nothing wrong with going after the Cardassian Disruptor if you have the opportunity, because again, more is more. It does add up, and it's nice to have those things. I don't know if that helped you answer the question, but that's my answer. It's a very long-winded way of saying either way is good, whichever you prefer. So, Doug says, I have 2 Novas and saving for a third. They can reach the lucrative space as soon as they're built. I love the Nova and how far it can go. And we'll switch accounts here in a second, but my Nova is not high tier. I think I've got it at tier 3, and it does everything I needed to do and will continue to do that as I level up. All right, let me double check everything. I do need to go do Saris Invasion more. Oh, I'm sorry. I already did that yesterday. There's no SMS today. Oh, I remember. I'm sorry. Why was I grinding that for the event store? See, even my little reptilian American brain sometimes forgets things. So I do need to actually go do that because I actually need the Fatu Curry scraps so I could do the turn-in every day. And for those curious, yes, at level 25, the Saris Invasion is good for me because of the loot that this pays out. More Syndicate XP is always good, but also the ability to upgrade buildings is nice. So that's what I was doing. That was a thing. All right, let me go back and do that again. We'll get one more round of that, then we got to work on our level 53 account. All right. Is there a free-to-play way to source subspace relays? Yes, through incursions, Captain Decoy. Incursions generally happens once a month, and you can source it by scoring in the events there, as well as if your server wins, you get more of the currency for the incursion store, and that's how you can source more of this material. As you can see on this account, I have basically nothing because 710 does not do incursions yet. So I'm just sitting here at a paltry level 1, but I do have it built. But that's how you get it free to play, is sourcing it through incursions runs. Raj, great to see you. How are you doing? And that did help. I'm happy to hear it, Requiem. Happy to. Is the rare loot officer worth the event store loot? I won't need to get all the 38. I would need to get all 38 to unlock. Hellcats, which one are you talking about? Also, check out literally yesterday's video where I talk about the 2 Qs who are in the event store, and I talk about what they're used for, if that's what you're referring to. Unpopular opinion. I have a Nova, but I still use the Bukchor. Way more protected cargo because you're in the war. Yeah, that's completely fine, Mihai. Protected cargo can absolutely come into that. For me, I just run protected cargo crews, and even a tier 3 Nova, if I got hit, has enough protected cargo to where I complete my dailies, and more importantly, I complete my Pinnacle of Power event, which we were talking, and Turtle rightly brought up that some of the daily events are very problematic. One daily event everybody here should be celebrating as a change is Pinnacle of Power. Formerly, Pinnacle of Power was something that was only available for G5 and above. Now Pinnacle of Power is everywhere, paying out something. What is it doing for me? Well, Pinnacle of Power level 25 is giving me assembly medals, allowing me to work on the star-based research tree in the 20s, which is helpful. So Pinnacle of Power is great if you're looking for something to pay attention to. And again, it does count towards your ahead of the curve SMS. Pinnacle of Power is super, super good for everybody now. Make sure you're working on that and completing it. Big fan of Pinnacle of Power. Not a big fan of all the things like these, the material spins, but big fan of Pinnacle of Power. I think that's a fantastic one in terms of for everybody. So if you weren't aware of that one, but now you hopefully are, so that you can pay attention to it and make sure you're doing it. All right. Doing well. It's my birthday tomorrow for me, but in India, it's already the 19th, so getting calls and messages early. Well, happy birthday to you, Raj, early, because obviously I won't be streaming tomorrow, so I won't see you tomorrow, though you can surely hit me up on the Discord if you were to want to do that. But happy birthday. It's always cool. Also, your birthday's too close to Christmas, man. Too close to Christmas. Erwin says, Starbase, man, said like a true well. I'm telling you, man, everything adds up. And yes, these researches are impactful for a low-level player. And it's easy to miss how, but let me give you an example, Erwin. Look at my power right now. Now, looking at this might mean absolutely nothing to you. I am a level 25 who is absolutely not maxed. Did you know that way back in the day, I was one of the first level 28s to hit 2 million power? Yeah, at level 28. The amount that you can access now, and yes, I do complain about power creep, but if it's there, use it to your advantage. The things that you can have access to now, because of things like star-based research trees and all these other things, are making accounts better, ships stronger, officers more available. These are good things. Now, I agree with you. Our creep as a whole is bad, but I don't think people realize how much an impact these things have until you can actually see it. And the fact that at level 25, I could easily be over 3 million power when back in the day, you were maxing out at, 1 million, 1.5 million, shows that there's a lot that is being given to players now to make the game easier, of course, to encourage you to level up and eventually spend. But that is a good thing. So it is good to take note of those and take advantage of those. All right, let's grab more questions because questions are good. I'm surprised there aren't more event store questions, but that's completely a-okay. That's completely fine. All right, completely fine. There's a 50% to loot lower deck, goofy looking alien guy. That's fear. Nah. All right, so here, I'll pull, that's the wrong one. I'll pull the officer window up real quick. I know a lot of people like him. Yeah, I'm very just because there's already a lot that do these things. Again, not bad, but there's a slew of officers that already do that. Not a huge fan. Doesn't mean I wouldn't want to have him. He's basically Doc Brown. This is Doc Brown from Back to the Future. If you can't tell, one of the game design team clearly is a fan of Back to the Future. I don't know what to tell you, but it's an Endorian Doc Brown. I'm very on that. I mean, it does not move the needle for me. Like, cool, if you get it, you get it. But if you don't, worse problems have happened. I promise. It's very It's my opinion, though. Some people might agree or disagree. All right. Real quick, give me just a second, y'all, because my YouTube browser froze, so now I can't see the chat. So let me pull this up again because I'm missing your chats right now. So now I've got a stupid YouTube. All right, let me pull it up this way. There we go. Now we got chat. So Sean is correct. It is good for synergization. No arguments there. I do completely agree with that is good for synergization. But again, is it really needed? Yeah. I think there's more important things is what I'm saying. There's more valuable things available. Plenty of things you can go after, I think, that are going to give you more bang for your proverbial buck. That's what I would recommend. Would you recommend getting 2 Defiance? I would not. I see no point in getting 2 Defiance. None. Just finished my California class event. Now I'm halfway to the Cerritos. Congratulations, Mark. That's awesome. I do love that has a actual free-to-play path. And not hard to do, which is rare in some of this game. So, yeah. Just confirming I heard correctly, more event store options will be added, but you can't elaborate. Well, some of those have already been announced, Bartman, and they actually said in a post on Discord that they're adding more events next week. And I also added in, don't expect the event store to actually stop at Christmas, which is what it currently says. I expect that to get extended. I would expect even up to a 7-day extension on that, if you remember of how it used to be back in the old day. But I can't guarantee that's going to happen. I'm just simply telling you that's what I'm expecting. It's also one of the reasons I have not put out my event store loot video yet. Who's my pick for Supreme Choice? Well, we can pull it up, talk about it. Supreme Choice, not something we talk about a lot because it's a spenders thing. But if you are going to make your Supreme Choice and you have one handy dandy, just depends on what you need and what you are into. So, for example, what I mean by that, Enterprise E Picard is a fantastic pickup if you're needing a better PvE grinder / loot officer. It's nice to have both. 7 of 9 is a wonderful PvP officer. Love this one, and if I could upgrade her to max, I would on my main account. But again, that's a PvP officer. These all have good sourcing. Not really big on. These also all have good sourcing. If I had to pick the 3 that are the most valuable, it's 7 in the Picard and the Riker. But if you're like a low-level player, like really low-level, 5 of 11 is also good. Just depends on what you need, how many of the Supreme Choice tokens you may choose buy, how many you get for free, etc. But the biggest 3 in this list, I think, are Janeway, Picard, and Riker, depending on what you need. Great PvE officer with loot bonus and strength. Great PvP officer and speed, which is good for PvP and just general usage. Phlox, no. Phlox is not, I have not recommended Phlox in very, very long time. Very, very long time. There was like 2 weeks where I thought Phlox was good. Yeah, meh. All right, prepare. Let me see if I got enough to do that pull. I am punching up big boxes. Let me see if I got enough to go do that. I don't think I did. Let me double check. So stop trying to punch up so daggone much. Yep, I need to get 3,000 more. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. I grind through these, and I'm gonna have to stop being so stubborn and go down to the 26s so that I can farm more in just 6 boxes at a time. I'm very stubborn. It's a fatal flaw of mine. All right, away we go. Actually, hold on. I'm not even using my strongest ship. I forgot I had this for swarms. I do have a Kumari. I do indeed. Send the Kumari. Actually, let's send the Kumari here. Look at me. I can't even make up my mind what I'm doing. All right, is it possible to get Chaos Tech with Ops 35? It is possible. It's not reasonable, but it is possible because you can start grinding Chaos Tech quite early. But again, that's not when you ask, is it possible? The answer is yes. Is it feasible? Not really. I mean, you could. There are people doing it. I just consider it too painful. I'd rather wait a little bit. You need one, how high is your epic ship? And also crewing. Is it technically possible? Yes. Is it fun? Would I recommend? No, not at 35. If you are really trying to be the best player that you can be and you're trying to be the best at your level, that is an option. Man, that's painful. That's painful. You have a Kumari, you advise me against it. First of all, Any Cool Gamer, you clearly did not listen to the advice. What was the advice I gave, Any Cool Gamer? I said, if you're, one, I never said don't get the Kumari. I said don't invest uncommon into it. I've got a little baby tier 5 Kumari that I've barely put anything into. That was my holdover while I work on my Vidar. But I've always said is the Kumari does not have long-term value, so do not blow your uncommons on it. That's it. I don't have a max Kumari. It's just a little baby Kumari for grinding until my Vidar gets past tier 1. And I just got my Vidar this week. So my Vidar will take time to level up. I've got to work on the Vidar, hence me pulling these boxes, which I need to go do more of that grind as well. So it's definitely not a situation where like I've changed the advice. It's just, you know, baby Kumari. MB says their Kumari is 10 million. Well, I'm happy for you, sir. Mine is not. Mine is definitely not 10 million. So, yeah, but definitely not. Can you update the free-to-play grindable chart? You can get G5 uncommon mats from the faction stores if you keep the grind going for some problems. You mean G6. So, while that is technically true, Demolition Dude, I am not changing it yet because there's like 2 people that applies to. So, yes, while technically true, I guess I could put it and there just had to be a massive note next to it. But at the moment, I just don't feel like that's really feasible for most people. Sure, it's technically true. But of the 250,000 people who play this game regularly, that affects a couple dozen. And when I'm making these and when I'm editing these charts to talk about free to playable primes, I'm trying to speak to what everybody generally has access to. Everybody does not generally have access to G6 uncommon mats, even though they are now free to playable if you're getting into that area of the game, which is a correct statement. Shout out to JB, who we did an interview with last month to talk about that. But I feel like it's a little misleading to tell people because it's, again, you're having to get all the way into G6, which is a premium area of the game where you're expected to spend right now. So, fastest way to get Monavine parts, literally leave your Monavine out to auto grind every day and then do the turn-ins. That is the way to get more. Just leave it out there. Put your Monavine in Texas space, sit it there with your secondary hostile crew, and just let that puppy grind all day, every day. And then you'll never run into an issue where you can't do your refines, and then you want to be double pulling that refine. You're good. You're done. That's the meta. That's how you do it. That's how I've maxed mine out. Just literally let it grind all day, every day. All right. Any idea if Scopely is going to be sourcing FKR Armada directives more for next year, given one of the new events they rolled out this update? I've got nothing I can tell you on that, Apex. All right. Complete the independent archive. I am working on that. And actually, no, I finished on my Monavine. And yeah, that will also help as well. So on the main account, or the 53 account, we've done this. You can see it will increase the amount of loot that you're getting, as well as cost efficiency for upgrades. So make sure you're doing your independent archive to speed up how quickly you can max that loop out. Remember, the earliest you can max out a level, max out the Monavine and the Voyager is level 51. You can have them maxed out, which means that you can complete your independent archive for the Voyager and the Monavine at level 51. It's pretty nice. Do you think I should choose Epic Picard if I have Dejash at Ops 28? Sure, yeah, why not? I don't think that either one would preclude from selecting the other. Yes. Yes. All right. Already read that. Speaking of the Kamari, can you ask Opa to change Shran to have a captain's ability that gives bonus to Kamari? Simple answer, Jeffrey, no, because that'd be a waste of time and questions. And there's no reason for them to do that. When I mean no reason, there's no way that would be justifiable for the time it takes to pay somebody to do that. So, should we camp at 50 or 51 then? Both. Two different things. One's G4, one's G5. If you're level 50, you're in G4. If you're level 51, you're in G5. So you only go to G5 when you're ready to go into G5. Like, I've made a couple videos on this. So G4 stops at level 50. So you can sit at level 50, catch up, get you your level 50 epic, enjoy it, etc. And then when you're ready, we usually talk about going all the way to 53, but 51's where it starts. So it's two different things. I know there's only one level difference, but there's a stark difference between the gameplay at 50 and the gameplay at 51. Everything starts changing. You know, the silent hostiles you need to hit change. You know, your requirements for dailies change. All these things are going to then adapt to the new system that is G5. So technically both are kind of camp spots. So you just don't plan to stay at 51 very long. Your plan is prepare at G4, get everything you need done, and then you want to move quickly into 53 and 52 so you can get your Nova and your uncommon ship. Why they have certain ships when tiering up such huge ops jumps? Don't really understand what you're asking, Unleashed. You could rephrase it. Does 51 start giving the ability to refine G5 materials? Yes. Although technically you can refine common and get G5 before 51. Yes, when you go 51, your refinery will allow you to start going after those materials. So, yes, indeed. Go after this one next. See how much easier it is when you use the right ship? Things so much better than that poor little Bacchus. I don't know why I was doing that the entire time. It's amazing how little my brain can work sometimes. Impressive, actually. All right, cheers for the advice. I'm only level 47 at the moment, working towards the Newton. 200 plans to go. Congrats, Rob. That's awesome. Is there a G4 farm method? What are you asking? That doesn't say anything. What are you asking? All right. Video on prepping before moving 50s is great. I based a lot of my goals on that video. Happy that it was helpful, Doug. Obviously, time has made that video missing. It's now missing a few things, but I think the logic is pretty sound, and hopefully people get the logic behind that video, even if certain things aren't mentioned. For example, the Voyager and the Monavine aren't mentioned in that video because they didn't exist. I know the Monavine didn't exist when it came out. The Voyager might have. So, ship scrapping G4 method. So, for scrapping G4 ships, yeah, the ISS Jelly farm. I did a video on it. The ISS Jelly, at level 44, you can technically have a profitable scrap, meaning you get more in return than you dump in by scrapping ISS Jellies. That is available as early as 44, but I do want to be very clear. It doesn't mean it's easy to get that, but it is available as early as level 44. That is the biggest scrapping G4 mechanic currently available. We're going to swap over to that because that Kumari is painfully slow. Painfully slow. All right. Is there another cheese crew other than Leslie to hit 60 plus Zindi? They don't seem to work about 60, but could be my level. Now, Noon, I do use it on the level 60s. However, generally once you get towards upping your NX01, for example, maxing it out, you'll swap to, you call more traditional crews to handle those. But depends on your tier. All right. From the Terran Empire store, G5 Innovative Engineering, level 1, lower the cost of G5 blueprints. Correct, Justin. It will lower the cost of your faction credits. And I do have that chart in my Discord because that is a very often asked question. Let me go ahead and show y'all where that's at. So if you go into my Discord, !Discord, I'll actually just type that in for y'all. !Discord, that way the link will pop up. But if you go into my Discord, It is in the Fleet Commander's announcements channel. Scroll up a little bit. It was posted November 3rd, but here it is. So this will tell you what the costs come down to. And just because this always gets kind of confusing for some people, explaining how efficiency actually works, because a lot of people don't get how efficiency works. So that is covered here. So if you're curious what the cost will be, right there in the Discord, there's where you find it, in the Fleet Commander's announcements channel. All right, let me go back to hitting these because, oh, don't want to hit that one. Let's go hit that one. All right. All right, Monavine Tier 6, it needs Ops 51, item Dragon Breath, Warp, engine upgrade. Yeah, at 51, you can max out your Monavine Unleashed. So, need to run, we'll catch you later. All right, and Honey, appreciate you. I will be on Twitch later, and glad you're able to hit me up here. Always good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a fantastic day. All right, Chimera Salvage event. Each hostile gets 7 points. How can I speed this up? All right, let me jump into this real quick. Events, Saris Invasion. Wait, Chimera Salvage event. So you're not talking about that one. Yep, this is a genuine look of confusion on Rev's face. What event are you referring to? What event are you referring to? Let me check my other account. Maybe I'm missing something because I'm staring at a level 25 account too much. 1 second. Let me look over at 53. Oh, yeah. Okay, because I can't see everything on the 25 account. Yeah, the Chimera loot event. Let's see. Saris Invasion Fleet. I guess I don't want to switch screen. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. Hold on. Display capture. Boop. All right, so here's the level 53 account. For this one, which you can see I haven't done yet. So that is earning salvage, which you can do by going into event store. And what? Not that one. Although I do need to do this claim. There's my event. But exchange. Wait, salvage is going to be your AMS. One other way to do the salvage. What am I blanking on? What am I blanking on when it comes to salvage? I'm blanking on something. STFC slot unlock good for 100k? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, that's the Armadas. You gotta do the Armadas. Do the Armadas. Yeah. See, brains do not always work. Do the Armadas. That's the answer. You gotta do the Armadas. Yeah, see? Problems when you stare at the different accounts too long, you forget things. So, go do your Armadas. And if you haven't done those already, well, I got a video on that. Got a video on everything. Salvage SMS is to get a survivor chest from the Ops Appropriate Chimera. Thank you, meme. Now, I can already tell you I've got my Chimera crew up. It's weird that my brain works like that because I have my Chimera crew already here. Like, this is not the ship I'll use, but I'll put the Vorcha on and throw that out there. That's what I use for my Chimeras. I just use this. You can also use 5 Lorca Khan. Now there is, go ahead and mention this. Remember, there is a difference where are you trying to go after the damage leaderboard? Because the damage leaderboard will change up the crews. I do not try to go after the damage leaderboard. So I just run this. And I'll just put this on it. This is all I do. But if you want to go for the damage leaderboard, this is not the optimal crew if you're trying to go for the damage leaderboard. I just always ignore that one. So, hope your family doing well. Thank you, Quake. I greatly appreciate the kind words. Thank you very, very much. Let me make sure I can pull mine here. And then I'll switch to our other account so that y'all aren't staring at this one all day. Not that I have a problem with it, but gotta do our grinds. What's the group crew for the damage leaderboard? See, this is where it gets complicated because I have no idea who y'all have. For example, 5 Lorca Khan is a solid one, but that's not the most damage you can put out. Do remember, and we have this entire list posted on my Discord, regular Armada officers do not work against Chimeras. Can't throw on Miles O'Brien. Can't throw on Chakotay. So, a couple different things. One, star charts research is huge. If you have star charts, that means that you can have Harry Kim, Lana Torres, Neelix below decks. All of those can create an effect that gives you more isolytic damage, which can help out slightly, but it's, what is it, the first shot? Was it the first biggest ISO shot's what counts? Help me out, meme. I think that's what it is. The first biggest shot is what counts for the leaderboard. Is that what it is? What we'll call it. Chat will remember. What's a good crew for the damage leaderboard is also, do you have any of the newer officers like Vielle, who below decks does crits, which she works against the Chimeras. Depends on who you got. Biggest round. Thank you, Pseudo. Your biggest round of damage is the one that counts towards your leaderboard. So, the most amount of standard damage in a single round. Thank you, meme. Thank you. When do I start getting rare G4 parts? If you're talking about from the refinery, that's level 45. So ISO doesn't count, but biggest round of standard damage, which means that we're looking at criticals, hull breach, damage boosters, exo comps, things like that. Heath has another good one, 5 Lorca Mud with Belana Torres below decks, and you pray for Mud to proc. That is another good one. That is another good one. Vielle is on option if you have Vielle. When can we expect to see the Monavine refit in the event store? I have no idea, Lime. No idea. Let's see. Trying to grab as many of these as I can. Also, what is our time at the moment? What is our time at? Why is my YouTube studio broken? Please work correct. Thank you. All right. I don't know why that was not working. That was really annoying. All right. We're still good on time. Cool. I have a meeting at 2, so I can't stay terribly long. Can't miss the meeting. All right. Back into the questions. Got that from Quake. Thank you. Am I missing something? I thought you got messages exchanged from the token system in DQ. You do. You absolutely do get messages for your scouts in the Dairy Queen systems. That is specifically the Borg ones, though, not regular ones. So maybe that's the confusion you're having, Kishi. So just to give you visuals of where these are. Misalup is one. Shalika, who knows how to pronounce that, is one. But not FSEPs. The FSEPs do not give you messages for scouts. Only the Borg ones. You have to summon the Borg cube, and that's where you get your messages from. You have to summon the Borg cube. All right. Season finale of Survivors tonight. Survivor is still a thing? Who watches Survivor? What is this? Is this 2004? Survivor still exists? Survivor. Like the show. Like the island thing. That's still around? All right, whatever. Whatever. That's cool. Yeah. Had no idea. Had no clue. Keep in mind, my generation younger, we don't watch cable television. So that's probably why I did not know that was still a thing. Y'all must be cable TV watchers. I had no idea that was a thing. Wife and I still love Survivor. Wow, I am just absolutely shocked this exists. I am learning things today. It's nice that I can educate y'all about the game and you can educate me about my TV ignorance. So, are you excited or sad for the last ever Lower Decks episode? Both. Both. Not on cable. It is on CBS. That's literally cable, John Bondi. That's literally cable. On Paramount Plus. Okay, but it's a cable show. Just because they put it on Paramount Plus doesn't mean it's not on cable. Also, Paramount Plus is the worst streaming app of all the apps, and I only have it because of Star Trek. I can't stand Paramount Plus's app. It is terrible. Sorry for the rant, not about STFC, but Paramount Plus, if you are watching this, for the love of God, please fix your app. It is terrible. It is the worst streaming app in the game. No wonder the thing is losing money hand over fist, and you've had to sell it. It is terrible. All right. It is awful. Anyway, I'm level 57 and just learned about the Borg messages yesterday. Understandable, simple Iowan. There's a lot in this game. I get it. All I can say is, hey, come to more Rev streams, and we'll try to keep you as informed as possible. Keep you informed as possible. Gave up on Survivor when they stop saying "come on in, guys." I had no idea what that means, Tiberius. Unlike NX01s, don't understand how to upgrade it. Do the refinery. Can't see it on this account. Yeah, you upgrade it by doing the refinery and doing the loot. Hit the hostiles, turn in the currency. Hit the hostiles, turn in the currency. I have a whole video on how to do it. Whole video on how to do it. I'm not really sure what you're confused about, Sam. For the most part, everything in this game is the exact same thing. Hit a hostile, get a currency, do a refine, upgrade the ship, repeat the process for 40 different things. That's basically how it works for everything. All right. All right, let's go into event store. Now, I see some of y'all explaining what CBS is while not understanding it's all under the cable umbrella, and regular millennials, Gen Zs don't watch that. It doesn't exist. Nobody has your little antennas, and nobody has cable, and nobody's watching TV. Nobody does that who's under the age of like 30. It just doesn't exist. I don't care if it's free to air or whatever. Y'all are all old, and nobody young watches that. That was the point. I love y'all, but you're missing the point. Okay, let's do our scrap exchange, finally. There's my MMM assessments and some Syndicate XP. All right, we can close this out. You're a whippersnapper, and I love y'all. Y'all are amazing, and I'm so thankful that y'all are here because y'all teach me a lot. Y'all are completely missing the point. Nobody watches cable means nobody watches traditional television. We all blow our money on 15 streaming services. All right, let's close this one out. We're done with that one. Back over to this, and why don't I go ahead and throw this out and do our chimeras. Not all just pedantic. Sure. Whatever, that works too. We have a great community here, and we're all just a bunch of old gals and guys sitting on the porch drinking lemonade, griping at each other, and it's fun. Do rabbit ears still work on TVs? I know the answer to that one, no, because rabbit ears are an analog, so now all signals are digital. However, there is a modern version that allows you to do that. So, yeah. Rev educates on STFC. The rest of the fan base educates Rev on entertainment. Completely fair. Frederick, absolutely, completely fair. Flashman says he likes television, and I'm sure you like your marmalade and, you know, old crackers and hard candy too. And I'm happy for you. And your milk still gets delivered in glass bottles. I love it. Sometimes nostalgia's dope, right? Us youngins, we're even buying vinyls now. Crazy. Some of y'all will appreciate my sense of humor. Some of you will be offended. All of you know I love you. All right. What is something people miss at Ops Level 39 that you should be doing? Making sure you do not skip out on having a Level 34 faction ship, at least Tier 8. I would say that's a big one. So many people are in a hurry to get up to like the next stuff, and they miss out. And that's a big one for me. Also, I need to be going deeper. I'm only going to a 50. I've gotten too used to the Revenant grind. I need to go deeper. I'm in the wrong systems anyway. Gosh, this game has way too much stuff. Where are my Chimera systems? There they are. I went to the wrong thing. Get your beautiful fortune butt up here. Wrong thing. Rev has kids and doesn't yet realize cool is in the rear view. Oh, I know. I'm just cool compared to y'all. I understand that somebody 20 is going to look at me and call me cringe, and they're going to call me ick and all the other things kids are saying now. I get it. I'm just saying I'm cooler than you. Simple Iowan. What would you know about cool? You're in Iowa. There's nothing in Iowa but stalks of corn and cold. Yeah, go away. Love you. All right. A dish of butterscotch candy is very popular. Love it. Love it. A couple more years, Rev will have gray in that red beard. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Bad Wolf. My wife picks at me because on the side of my head, obviously I've got my blonde hair, but on the side, there's this literal circle. It's like the size of a dime that's just white. That's it. It's just a circle of white on the side of my head. I'm old. I get it. Y'all are right. Corn, cold, and casinos, the 3 C's of Iowa. I missed one of the C's. But yeah. All right, let me get my my hostile grinding crews back up here. Y'all got me all distracted now. All right, apply, go. And we'll do our dailies with a Revenant. Who cares? Let's get these freebooters done before we forget about them. Get your dailies done with a freebooter. Why not? All right. A plastic covered sofa is cool AF. You're right, Meemaw. It's amazing. Amazing. Protector at event store, please send that suggestion up. It's already been sent, G-Child. Look how fast I work. Heck yeah. I don't expect it, but anything's possible. Anything's possible. I certainly want it there for everybody. So, all right. Let me go ahead and jump in and do this real quick before I get popped, because there's always somebody in here lurking. Moss42, what is the best way for me to do my rep grind? Got all faction, G3 epics, and I have Voyager 20 million plus with Tantalus Field equipped. Well, the Tantalus Field is not going to help you on rep grind because Tantalus Field's PvP. But best thing I would say is, have you gotten your 42 ship yet? Either your Monavine, wow, this thing does not punch as hard as I want it to. Either your Monavine or your faction ship is probably going to be your best. So you have two options. You can grind in the capital systems, or you can do mirror grinding. Either one of them will probably give you the most grinding that you can, in terms of rep, that you can do. The mirror system, the earliest mirror system for you that you could try faction grind with, is going to be Mirror Talsetti, if I remember right. I think Mirror Talsetti or Mirror Dolaron. One of these will let you try faction grind. I don't remember which one it is off the top of my head. But you can try faction grind there, or I would simply just grind in the capital systems where you're at right now. All right. Don't forget the Thought Maker CT. The Thought Maker is nice if you've unlocked it, and it's cool that there is a free-to-play path to the Thought Maker. I don't have the Thought Maker quite yet. Some people have obviously gotten more lucky than I have, but that's right there. If you're wanting to free-to-play source that. If you've managed to grab it, that's awesome. I don't have it quite yet, but that is where that is located. And I can't believe this thing did not even get that in. But let me go do these for... Hold on. We got to do our chimeras. Oh, wow. Look, that one's almost dead. Sure, I'll take a freebie. Absolutely. Somebody left a freebie just laying around here. That's so kind of them. That is the generosity of these people. Okay. I know I'm in the zone. I know I'm in the zone. All right. Look at the generosity. Is the Kishara artifact worth it for auto grinding? I'll give you this one warning, Fred. It is not perfect. It is still technically broken. It works 95%. If you like it, sure. Basically what they did is they took, hey, bots are doing this for free. Let's monetize it. Bots are obviously illegal in this game. But, yeah. All right. I got me a freebie. That was fun and nice. I like freebies. So anyway, for those who are asking how to complete that event, doing this and then collecting the boxes from that is how I'm going to do it. So, you give it 80%? I think it's better than 80%, Brian. But yeah, it's not perfect. It should be better than it is, but here we are today. All right. What's the best crew for hitting level 61 plus Zindi battleships? Kill 4 level 60s right now with a tier 11 NX-01. Ooh, that would be a more direct question to go over what do you got. I really want to see what you got. So, wait, did I not bump that one? I didn't. What am I doing different? Or am I not usually hitting 56s? I don't know if I'm actually usually hitting 56s. What am I doing different? All right, I'm going to have to think on that one. I have no idea what I just did different and didn't do any damage there. Something ain't... I think that's it, meme. I think I don't usually go in there naked. Oh, well. I still got a box. It'll be all right. There's my salvage. That's probably what it was. I forgot to do all my boosters. It'll be all right. Worse problems have happened. I think it's also because I brought 5 of 11 and I usually bring something else. It'll be okay. 6% of the time, the Kishara works every time. That is sad reality of where we're at. That is a sad reality. All right, got to do away teams. IMS fine. Did complete the SMS anyway, which is all that matters. And I don't really track those, so that's fine. And then let's check my event store. I can now pull this one. I always recommend getting the currency to pull this. Yay, 5 DeMarco shards. That's awesome. That's good. And we're going to pull it again. One DeMarco shard. Not as awesome, but still fine. And then when I do my Saris Invasion store, Gwen DeMarco. I'm going after Gwen DeMarco, trying to get her unlocked as soon as possible. What tier level is best to stop upgrading the Mantis? Never. Max it out. Max out the Mantis. What's the point of having the Kashara artifact? The Kashara artifact, Tripon, when it works, allows you to set a queue for what hostiles you want to hit. So you can set it to go bang, 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 to where you don't actually have to touch them. You just queue, and you just let it run. That's the benefit of the Kashara artifact when it's actually working. Have they say anything about these stupid high requirements of the Christmas event on Sunday? We talked about it earlier, Caleb. I brought it up. There's discussion about running a makeup event next week to allow players to still complete the Christmas event. So I still need to confirm that's absolutely happening, but I did bring that up to a Hammy and talked about it both on Sunday and this morning. So all right, what's okay? Get off my lawn. Yes, Beer Maker. I will definitely get off your lawn. I apologize. How is it that mods for that work, but the artifact is buggy? Don't have an answer to that question. Is there any discussion on the timing of arenas? There's plenty of internal discussion. I don't have anything I can tell you is happening, but I can tell you that they're discussing it. They've definitely heard from players about days, times, etc. I don't know what the plans are, and I will try to keep my ear to the ground and figure it out because I'm very curious and want to know. Obviously, I'm a big PvP arenas advocate. I love it. At the same time, it is clearly not available to everybody, which is not fair, and that sucks. So as soon as I hear something, I will try to pass it along. But I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Let me do all my masteries. This is nice because now I'm getting all of these things, and now I'm able to get more ship parts, which is so cool. And I got my Monavine done, which is nice. Because that's more epics and uncommons every day. So, you know, life is going great right now in Star Trek Fleet Command. It's a rare happy time. So now I just need to get my Madar done, and then we'll get our Talios done. Reason for those curious why I've not been working on the Talios, my Talios is max for my level, and my Talios cannot get done in here until level 58. So I've not been in a hurry to do this one. Simple reason is none of this really helps me right now. I'm just doing everything else first. For those who are always asking why, and completely okay to ask why. All right. Did they remove the ahead of the curve officers from the event store? The ahead of the curve officers are not in the event store. The ahead of the curve officers are here. Right here. This is where the ahead of the curve ticket system is located. Yes, Felix. Everybody's aware of that. Everybody's aware of that, but that's bugged. That's why I'm not doing it. Thoughts on the value of the Revenant now that's been out for a few weeks? So Revenant's been out for a week and a half, but is the Revenant good? Yes. Is it worth buying? Up to you. It has a free-to-play path day one, and it's, as always, comes down to, is saving that 3 months worth it to you? If it is, awesome. For me, I like having the Revenant. It's working out well. Would I buy it? I have bought a pack this month, and it wasn't that. So, like, I didn't buy the Revenant for my level 57 account. Shout out, by the way, Bear, who donated for me to buy a pack. And I did buy a pack. I bought a Dolomite pack because it was a double your value Dolomite pack, and I got more ship parts efficiency. So, finally got to play a couple of arenas this week. Loved it. Just don't have that much time on Mondays. And that's something that we hear from a lot of people. And I can assure you that I will continue to bring that up with all the overlords every time the conversation comes up, because I understand there are many of you who may want to do it and can't, and I definitely will try to get that for y'all. So, I used DeMarco on the Armada for the event. Yeah, Gwen DeMarco is fantastic. Like, if I had Gwen DeMarco, she'd be right here on this run. Like, she'd literally go right there. If I had Gwen DeMarco. She's very good. Gwen DeMarco is one of the better officers in the game because she's good for 2 different things, and she's really good at both of those things. And there's not a lot of things that you can say that for the STFC. So, not a lot of things that you can say that about an STFC. You're 119 to 120. Well, that means you're getting her this week, Dale. So you can go ahead and suck 16 eggs, because I'm jealous. I'm probably not getting her that quickly. We'll see. Is there anything here I can grab real quick? Let's see. Not worried about those yet. Can't do that yet. Giorgio's crown. Apex barrier. That's, yeah, I need to do that. All right, hold on. Sorry, chat. I got to figure some things out. Premium dust. That's a big one, especially now that I've unlocked the good one. Look at this one. I love it. The 151. Yes, that's a big thumbs up. I made it to platinum. I'm actually tempted to, like, don't do anything anymore. Like, stop doing arenas to make sure that I don't drop out of platinum, so I can keep pulling premium mirror dust 3. So good. So good. All right, free Dolomite drip is also always good, but I'm going after the Tron skin, and I need to go do more waves. That's the thing. Just unlock Gwen. Details on when to use her. All right, Harley, real easy. PvP, below decks. Amazing. Then just use her above decks for like your Armada runs. She's also very, very good. Let's go ahead and bring her up since we're talking about her so much. Gwen is right there. So, officer ability increases isolated cascade damage against armadas and entities. Now, to the point, I don't remember. Oh, yes, Tiberius said it. This will not help you with the leaderboard damage event for chimeras, but it will make you punch a much bigger chimera, which means more loot. But she is a fantastic Armada officer because that is a large amount of isolated cascade. I know it's tough to really comprehend with just the numbers that are in the game. As of right now, like today, that is a nice amount no matter whether you're a level 65 or level 35. That is a great amount of isolated cascade damage getting added to your pew-pews. And then below decks, same thing, but in PvP, starting at 30% if the enemy player has any state, assimilated, burning, hull breach. I mean, both very, very good abilities, even at tier 1. One of those rare epic officers that as soon as you get them, you can use them. Very, very good. Does Jonathan Archer's loot ability work for Zindi Armadas? Does not. No. But Gwen DeMarco, from the same set of Galaxy Quest, great officer. I mean, absolutely fantastic officer in today's game. 3 years from now, she might get rendered inert by power creep, but right now she is a must-have and would recommend everybody focus on getting her. There are other things that are quality, worth going after. So understand if maybe you kind of like segment going after this, going after that. For example, the favors for your ships, getting more hull health. I've done that for my Vorcha a couple times, but she is absolutely worth going after. And as soon as I have her, I will indeed be throwing her into my PvP loadouts for PvP arenas. I'm trying to do anything I can to punch up, man. My goal is to, at some point, between boost, exocomps, abilities, officers, FTs, I want to go toe-to-toe and beat an Enterprise D, Rotarn, or Dodera decks with the Vorcha. Yes, before anybody says anything, that is a stupid goal. That is a waste of materials. That is stupid, but I want to do it. And I'm going to do it, dang it. Watch me. I'm going to make it happen. Probably. Maybe. Probably not. Probably not. But it's a goal. And there's nothing wrong with setting goals. And I just wanted to say that to make very clear. I'm not saying anybody should do that. I'm saying that Rev's an idiot. And he does things to cause himself undue harm. So, all right, let me pull this, though, real quick and pray that I get rare battleship parts. I did not. To be expected, but I did not. And let's go ahead and pull this as well. This month has been great. Got your Enterprise A and built it to tier 9. Congrats, Crouching Jedi. That is awesome. I'm really happy for you. Good job. Big thumbs up from me. That's really heckin' cool. All right. We got all that is good. Jor, I'm going to get all these claims because technically my Defiance is not maxed yet. I don't think that's a dumb goal. I always said the Vorcha should have been made a 5-star rare or 5-star epic go rev. Well, thank you, Frederick. I appreciate the support. It's just one of those goals that I understand is not efficient, but it's fun. And I already have a Vorcha that regularly takes down Sanctus and Sompex, right? And I'm proud of that. And I just want to take it a step further because there's always those people. And I have somebody who on Twitch does this all the time and he even calls me out in like other streams. Well, Rev, an uncommon will never beat a Sanctus or whatever with an FT. Yeah, you will. I've done it. My Northcut does it. Northcut has no FT on it. Took down a Sanctus this past Monday. And I only do that because, well, I'm really into this. Like, it's just what I enjoy. So I want to prove to people you can have success without always having to ops up. There's ways to have success without the answer always being, well, level up and get something bigger. Don't always have to get something bigger. Sometimes you can enjoy what you got. So, yeah. Speaking of inefficient goals, how do I get tourist BPs? Grind a butt ton of low-level hostiles, Braindig. Like level 2. You don't have to go. Just go to the Orion system and just needlessly spam those hostiles. Just sit here and grind all day long if you really want to get tourist BPs for whatever ungodly reason you want tourist BPs. God, that I did not know that there was that level of masochism in this chat, but apparently there is. So, can anyone see my messages? Yeah, I've already answered you before, Nolan. If you don't reach for the stars, you can't crash into the moon. Thank you, Tiberius. The amazing sayings that you come up with. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Somebody asked what tier is my Vorcha. She's tier 6. So she's not even that big. But I will acknowledge I do have this FT. But that's why when people bring that up, I go, well, my Northcut also kicks booty. And my Northcut does not have an FT. My Northcut runs naked with Interceptor Strike Team and still whoops tail. Kicks booties. So it also is tier 6. Yeah, so fun times. It's just, enjoy what you enjoy. Just like I took my Enterprise A up. Enjoy what you enjoy. I just want people to enjoy what they want to enjoy. If you tier your Vorcha tier 7, you can tier up your cube. Yeah, but the cube still won't be good for me. Still will be poopy and bleh. Bleh. All right, Voyager, come on, parts. Hey! Yay, I got rares. Awesome. New to 5-star. Where did raw intelligence come from? Just the new daily. Correct, Harley. By doing your new daily. So it's going to alternate between hitting hostiles and mining. But that is exactly how you get it. Rares. Hey, look, more rares. What about the Interceptor? Any rares? Hey, I'll take 2 out of 3. That ain't half bad. Not half bad. All right, let's check. Oh, looking for... Not that. What? Where's my Monavine? Oh, yeah, my Monavine's gone because I maxed it out. I don't have that anymore. But ISO, don't have rares. Oh, I do have rares in here. I'm sorry, I forgot. I did finally level. I'm sorry, that's 4-star. Dang it. I still got to level up my Gorn Eviscerator. All right, when I get that, that'll get 5-star from that. But my Vorcha, I think I can upgrade 1 part now. Yep. I can upgrade a part. Woo! Will I do that? Yes, I will, actually, because there's an event going on right now for Gwen DeMarco. So, boop. I'm going to at least get a couple of rungs of that. Don't recommend anybody else do that. Rev is doing it specifically because Gwen DeMarco. So, I want to get Gwen DeMarco. I don't want anybody to like, Rev, why are you wasting it? Because those officers are valuable to me. That's why I'm going to do it. All right, y'all. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you're having a great time, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Gotta wrap up, though, because I have a meeting that I simply cannot miss. However, I appreciate y'all being here. I only try to plug myself once an hour because I don't ever want to be those content creators who's just begging for your money. But if you want to support the channel, remember, I can't do what I do. Go talk to Scopely, play the game, teach the game without y'all support. So big thank you to all those who do it. There's the PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App links. And if you want to get something for my family for Christmas, there's the Amazon link in the chat. It isn't required, but it is tremendously appreciated. Every bit helps. Even if somebody donates $5, it means a lot. Me, my wife, and my family. My wife also is going to stop by the stream tonight on Twitch. If anybody wants to come by and meet her and see her, she comes by every now and then, and that'll be fun. So she's actually going to take a couple of shots, and we're just going to hang out. So love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Live long and plunder. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. Thank y'all so much for the love and support that you give me and my family. And if you have more questions, hit me up on Discord, Facebook, or Twitter/X. We'll see you then.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.